This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Use MMA 199 for $1.99 domain or transfer. Defense Soap. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off your entire order. Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 200.
Holy shit, I don't even know the signals, 100.
Yes. My name's Inga Weigold.
Macro MMA show. Bio fans, for fans, where we walk the line between serious.
I feel like I need to check.
ridiculous.
Are we recording?
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have a... it's very orange on the set.
It is. I don't know why.
Okay.
It'll be the new Reebok sponsor.
Reebok.
Brought to you by
Get stung?
Reebok. Yeah.
No.
Mickey's.
What's their slogan?
Toyo Tire.
Just do it? Nope. Reebok. Do they have a slogan?
I don't know. Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks, you can go.
But they want you to go to Reebok Z Quick, which are like the Johnny Hendricks brand shoes and shit and shirts.
We're giving away a shirt later on the show.
Yes, we
if
are.
I remember.
So anyways, congratulations to Reebok for signing this wonderful deal.
Good move. That's a good career move for
Yes.
your Reebok.
Things are looking up for you, Reebok.
Exactly.
Way to go. What's been happening, Matt? It's Memorial Day weekend.
Did some grilling today.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Nice weather in Chicago.
Shit, yeah.
No problems.
We hit 90 today.
It's crazy.
Air
After
conditioning.
minus 20.
Yes. Air conditioning works.
Awesome.
Feel that nice flow of cool
Has
air.
yours shut off at all day? Mine's been
No.
running. It's like just runs.
Just, yeah.
Non-stop.
Well, when it gets super hot, too, it can't even cool the house down.
Yeah.
It'll hit a certain point based on whatever the temperature is outside. The house is like, fuck you. This is where I can get to, man. I can't do much more.
Yeah, no, for sure. We try to pre-cool, and my wife always gets mad because she's like, "It's so cold in here this morning." I'm like, "Do you want it to be 80 like later or what?" I'm gonna get it down to 70 at 9 in the morning, 69.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna chill this fucker down because we get a lot of sun on our house. But yeah, it's nice to have the weather. I enjoy the summer. I think it's great. I'm glad it's here.
Finally. I wonder, the question is it going to be a brutal summer because it was a fucking brutal winter? That's
I think
what
it's
I'm
going to
afraid
be
of.
nasty. I have a feeling we're going to hit 120 plus. Excuse me. 120 plus.
Nice.
Yeah. I was at the pool today. Yeah.
Was it Bill for you?
Not so much.
Yeah, mine wasn't either the other day when I was there.
I was like, where is the talent in this place? I'm not sure what happened, but they're not here.
And did you notice, like, all the ladies wearing, like, bikinis that shouldn't be?
Yeah.
And, speaking of which, good God, there was a lady sitting next to me with the bush just fully out of her suit.
Nice.
No, it wasn't nice.
Didn't care.
It was disgusting, and I had to keep glancing at it just to keep getting grossed out by it.
Oh, maybe she likes it. You know,
I don't know. You gotta
trim it
take
up
care
a
of
little
that.
bit.
It can't stick out of your fucking suit.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Maybe you
I almost wanted to say, hey, you need to like hide that.
Trim a little.
Put that shit away, please.
Please trim.
Please.
Cannot be sanitary.
No, especially when you're 2 seats over.
Yeah. But anyways, whatever. It's summer. It's all good.
Feeling the flow.
Yes. Do you have any news for us, Mr.
Sure.
Matt, sir?
So I was on the internet the other day. It might have even been on the Twitter.
Okay.
And apparently Hershel Walker has a meat. I didn't know about this. He's selling his meat in the stores. There's a Hershel Famous 34. He's got this Black Angus beef patty, seasoned Black Angus.
It's got to be black, of course.
I don't know.
Sounds racist.
It does. That's weird because I was just thinking.
Why not white Angus?
This is going to
purple
come up
Angus.
later. Food can't be racist, but this might be racist food.
Yeah, like fried chicken
Right.
and watermelon?
Right. All I want to say is, where is Hershel Walker? Is he coming back?
I doubt it.
He's still on the
Wait a minute.
contract.
I thought this man doesn't eat anything, so how can he have a famous Black Angus
I thought
burger?
he was vegetarian.
He only eats a bowl of soup every day.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Or, isn't that what he said?
I think he's schizophrenic or sociopathic.
He's also black.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm
Are you
not
trying
sure.
to you trying to play a John Jones race card on me?
No.
Okay. Still checking.
Everyone thinks I'm racist.
You are.
I'm
He's
not
so
racist, damn it.
He's not, but he hates John
I just
Jones.
hate people with the last name Jones.
Yes.
And first
I
name,
was trying to think of
John.
any other Jones. The only one I could think of was Jenny Jones, but I don't know.
Who's Jenny Jones?
I don't know.
Okay.
We've been a co-worker at one time.
Could be.
Moving right along. Cung Lee versus Michael Bisping fight announced. You like
in
this?
Macau? Yeah, I do. I think Bisping is going to get slept in that fight. It's going to be brutal. Ouch. We'll see. I don't know. I forgot if Cung Lee has good wrestling takedown defense or not.
I don't know. He's almost fucking 40 by now, right? He's got to be 39 or 40.
He's got that crazy style, though. Bisping hasn't run into anybody quite that crazy. Be interesting.
Yeah, and seeing how Bisping's eye's not 100% healed, and he's got a juiced eye or whatever you're saying, put the fish oil.
Put oil in there. Lube it up. He just got married, by the way, too. Woohoo. Congratulations, sir. Stupid move, but whatever.
Marriage is the best thing
ever
invented.
It's funny.
Yeah, better than a cell phone.
What's that?
Marriage.
Marriage is better than a cell phone? Sometimes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to pause for an awkward silence while I ponder.
My wife lost her cell phone this week.
That's always
good.
Had to
buy her a new one.
How do you lose it? Did you not call it? Or
no.
Did you locate it?
We tried to, and it was not off the grid. So she says apparently she left it on my car at some point, and I'm like, somehow this happened to be my fault because I drove away with it. I'm like, okay, wait. First of all, it's your goddamn phone. I don't know what you're talking about, but I solved the problem. First, they wanted to charge me full price, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not spending $700 for a cell phone. Are you guys crazy?
Oh my God.
So I happened to get a number from a guy that was the customer retention department.
Yeah.
And I called, and it's like first ring, it's a person. There's no, I mean, AT&T, this was one of the best customer service experience I ever had. First thing she says to me, sir, before you get off the phone, I just want to let you know we're going to take care of your problem above and beyond your expectations in one phone call. What's going on? And I'm like, whoa, like, okay.
I think I might get a hand job out of this. I'm not quite sure where we're going.
I don't have a phone. And then not only did they give me the phone at like the normal subsidized price, they gave me a free case, like that $50 Defender case. They gave me, she's like, oh, did you realize you have a plan that's like way old and you can save and I'm like, yeah, okay. So they gave me $10 off a month on texting, and then I don't know what else. Oh, free insurance and free overnight shipping. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what are you guys doing? He goes, well, we appreciate your business. So AT&T, I love you. You've treated me well. I was very surprised. So I paid, whatever, $200 instead of plus tax.
Yeah.
No, they waived all the fees, everything, activation. I didn't pay shit except for the price for the phone.
Nice.
So, otherwise, it would have been like $780.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Fuck that.
Don't ever lose your cell phone inside contract. You're fucked. You're getting a flip phone.
There's nothing wrong with a flip phone.
No, there isn't. But I'm just saying, like, if you're on a smartphone,
that's true.
You get hooked. You don't realize
it's night and day difference.
I'm addicted to this thing. This is
like a fucking computer,
it's like my lifeline. And so was my wife. Apparently, she's very upset she lost her phone, but she's happy now. So.
Did she lose all her gaming progress then, or is
no? Apparently, if you sync it to your iTunes and it backs up and you restore it, all of your progress is as it was, which is a question I didn't know the answer to, and now that's cool. I don't play Candy Crush, but she's like level 2,000 or something, so she was worried about losing her Candy Crush.
We were just talking about Candy Crush yesterday.
Oh yeah,
when I was over.
Were you?
Yeah.
Are you playing again?
I only when I take a shit. I shared that with your wife. She didn't care for that too much. She's like, that's too much information.
Yeah.
Like,
she's getting a little stuffy in her old age. She needs to loosen up.
That's what I do. Poop 3 times a day. 3. I'm regular. Not like the ladies in my house. Clog the toilet. I'm the regular.
They go like once a week.
Yes. Like, you got fucking shit 3 times a day minimum.
That's what they do. They
do. What's with the shit holder? Is that it's a woman thing?
It's a female thing. And probably all the cheese they eat doesn't help. I don't know if at your house. At my house, the females eat a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
Even the dog eats a lot of cheese.
Yes, dogs love that shit.
Which is actually bad for them, I heard.
Is it?
Not supposed to give them dairy.
Okay.
I don't know. So what other news you got, sir?
Did you get a chance to see any of those UFC Embedded shows?
I did not see a single one, but I know you were telling me about them. Good?
Yeah, because it's so behind the scenes that you even see Dana White brushing his teeth. That's how deep in they go. You get to see Dan Henderson.
I want to see him scrubbing his balls.
Yes. You see Dan Henderson packing his bags to go to Las Vegas.
Ooh, exciting.
See DC, and then that's what it brings up where we go back to the food thing.
Fried chicken.
Yes, Henderson brings Cormier a heaping load of Popeye's fried chicken.
Nice.
And I want to say there was an MMA website out there that may have labeled that and even written an article saying that that was fucking racist as shit.
Do you remember who it was?
No.
Let's throw them on.
I can't even talk yet. That's neither here nor there is what I'm trying to say. But food is not racist, Dingo. The man loves the Popeye's fried chicken. White or black, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. I thought it was fucking classic, too. Because the guy's got to cut at least, I think, 15 to 20 pounds. And Henderson, sitting there getting a 3-hour massage before his fight the whole week, a 3-hour massage, ripping Hall of Fame farts onto the masseuse who claims it's just one of the hazards of the job, you know.
He probably likes his farts.
Probably.
It smells lovely.
It's kind of weird.
It didn't help him, though.
No, weighing in
all
at
these massages
199, but
and eating sandwiches and whatever.
Yes.
Did not help him in his fight.
No, not so much. Food not racist.
No.
Unless you're Hershel Walker.
Then it's racist as fuck.
Right. And then the last thing I want to say is, did you see there's a MMA themed nightclub being opened up in Ohio?
I saw. Should we go?
No. Because I couldn't think of a worse idea for a nightclub.
Think of like a Night at the Roxbury kind of vibe.
Seriously.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
I can see that.
But like, you gotta have some fucking insurance because shit.
We gotta have the shirts and the hair sticking out.
Maybe that's how all the bouncers should dress.
Yeah.
To keep everybody in check, because goddamn, because it's a big. The dance floor is just a big cage, like an octagon almost.
It's not gonna be any fights in that.
No,
place.
not at all. The clubs are already dangerous enough. Like back in the day, you'd see at least a good 2 or 3 fights a night at any college bar, or probably any bar in general. I think.
Really?
I don't have
that.
Depends what bars you go to.
Well, it depends where you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Come for the beer, stay for the fights.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That used to be a club name or a theme.
Yep.
Anyways.
Well, I want to talk about The Ultimate Fighter.
Go ahead, please.
And the shenanigans that happened on the last week's show.
Sure.
There was some controversy. There was a fight that went 2 rounds, and then it was a draw, went to the 3rd. In the 3rd round, fighter got point deducted for illegal elbows, 12-6 elbows, which, by the way, Mazzagatti never actually said, hey, man, you do that again, I'm taking a point away. He just kept telling him, stop doing that. Stop doing that. You got to stop doing that. Well, that doesn't mean anything. I think you need to be clear with the fighters what your next move is. You need to give a warning. Just like children, you got to say, hey, just so you know, if you don't stop this behavior, this is going to happen. And he never did that.
And how were these elbows being delivered? Was the guy shooting for a takedown and he was raining Travis
Did you
Brown
see it at all?
elbows? No.
Yeah, Travis Brown style. But it was
Those are legal.
I mean, it was kind of 12-6, but kind of not. But they weren't to the back of the head. But I don't know.
See, this is the problem, though. Because the 12-6 should only be if you're fucking mounted on someone. Yeah. And in general, it shouldn't even be that. But if the guy's going for a takedown, you're throwing elbows. Legal in my book. So go ahead.
So it takes a point away. Okay. And then it goes to decision. The decision goes for the fighter that lost the point. So you tell me, Matt, how is it possible in a 3-round fight, it's a draw going into the 3rd, you lose a point due to some illegal activity and you still win the fight? How is that possible? And you were not dominant in that round.
It's not possible.
Okay, but that happened, and the reason that happened is because apparently it was a majority draw, and they can't have a draw on The Ultimate Fighter, so they went around and asked each judge who they thought won. And apparently...
Is that even legal?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's bananas. And Dana White was confused. He was upset. Everyone was going crazy. I don't know what happened. We had a mishap. Episode 200, apparently.
His house is haunted, by the way, and he's bringing bad spirits over because he didn't do his thing that he started. I told him, once you start messing with the occult, you can't just forget a weekend.
I got some sage in an albacore shell or something.
Yeah, see?
And I got to do something. I forgot what it's called.
Are you playing with witches and witchcraft?
Perhaps.
In the occult.
It's an ancient Indian thing to get rid of bad spirits. I must do this soon.
See?
So I was saying The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know where to cut off, but it was like 3rd round, goes to a majority draw. The judges say that they go around and they ask the judges who they thought won, and apparently they all picked the guy who lost the point. So I don't know how that makes any sense, but apparently there's going to be a rule change now because of this, and they no longer will be allowed to do that. But, you know, the funny thing is I was like, backstage, BJ's like, you know you lost that fight, right? He's like, you better get the fuck out of here before they change his decision. He goes, go, run. And then the producers are like, you can't leave.
Tell him, like, you remember when I beat Matt Hughes? I ran, motherfucker. You need to run.
No, he seriously told them that. And the producers are like, you can't leave. Like,
oh, he's leaving. He won the fight. Go.
Like, go. Before they reverse
this. Out.
Yeah. But they didn't reverse it. You know, unfortunately, what are you going to do? Yeah, you know, these things happen in MMA.
I guess.
But, you know, the judges are a funny thing. It's better not let it go to the judges. That's all I can tell you.
Well, that's weird, too, because Keith Kaiser was there, wasn't he?
Yes.
Keith Kaiser's not there anymore.
Rocking the sweater.
In
the fucking
in
80s
Vegas?
hairdo.
Was it not hot out there at that time? God, no. I don't even know when they filmed that shit.
I see a lot of these styles now. These kids are wearing, like, wool sweaters with shorts and shit. I'm like, aren't you guys fucking hot? You ever seen this? Like, the style in the malls, like, you go and people are, like, the emails you see from, like, people are wearing, like, shorts and sweaters. Or, you know, they're bunched up, but that's all they're wearing, wool sweaters. Like, I'd be so fucking itchy. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm dying.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah,
no, not for me. But that's it for news for me. What do you got anything else?
That's it.
All right. What are we talking about? UFC 173?
Sure. Before anything else does. Maybe
yes.
a sponsor somewhere.
Sponsors brought to you by GoDaddy.com.
$1.99.com or transfer with MMA 199, and you can go to our coupon tab and click on shit, buy stuff, support us, share our show, watch us on iTunes too, subscribe if you don't already.
Please rate us on iTunes. If you watch us on iTunes, you should
rape
us first and then rate us second. So anally take your phone out and just anally rape your phone while you're listening.
Why you gotta take it there?
While you're listening. You said rape. I don't know.
I did.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. That's how we're playing. Episode 200, bitch.
I was watching this.
We should fucking cheer it up. Let's touch mics.
Cheers. 200 shows. It's crazy.
4.5 years later.
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't even compute.
I don't know how that happened, but it happened. It's all good. Speaking of rape, let's talk about UFC 173.
Okay. There was a lot of rape.
Yeah. What do you think overall on the card? Just
I'll throw some scores real quick.
Okay.
I was 7-5. You were 6-6. Magic 8 Ball was 8-4.
Ouch.
Overall, I'm 72-25. Ingo is 61-36. Magic 8 Ball is in third place, finally at 57-40.
Yes. I'm not in last place.
So, thoughts on the card overall? I was very sleepy watching this card.
I looked over and during the main event, I'm like, Matt.
I was dozing.
I'm gonna die. So tired.
Was it a terrible card, or
it just wasn't that exciting? I mean, can I give you the bonuses?
Yes.
You had Performance of the Night by TJ Dillashaw and Mitch Clark, who submitted L.I. Quinta via technical submission. And then you had the Fight of the Night was Dillashaw versus Renan Barao. Yeah, I don't know. The card was weird for me. It just never... I don't know if it was the star power wasn't there or if it was just like there wasn't like a huge like fight that was, you know, going to set the tone for anything. I mean...
Well, the top 3 fights were all so one-sided. No parity at all.
Yep. And, you know, you had, well, the Krause-Varner fight, which started, Jesus, that guy and his fucking weird issues in the cage. I mean...
That was early on, too. So Varner goes to check a kick because he's eating a bunch of leg kicks, and he checks it with his foot. And I don't know exactly what he broke, but he posted something to Twitter to say Varner said he broke 2 bones and tore a bunch of tendons also.
Ouch.
But you can also see that when he's trying to plant on that lead foot,
just couldn't do
it just keeps giving out and he's falling down. The ref doesn't fucking stop it. Corner doesn't throw a towel in. He just keeps fighting through it.
They should have threw it. That's probably where the tendon tear happened from all the fucking like.
Yeah, there's no support. So what else gives?
Yeah.
Whatever else is attached at that point.
Did he make the mistake of like instead of keeping his foot like this, he went like that to block it? Did you catch that? I don't know. I didn't see it. No, the coaches always used to tell us like, you know, your foot stays up instead of flat because when you're flat, it's.
Because Krause was saying that he was working on trying to kick low to the calf. So he was going low, and then Varner just came up and broke.
Brutal. But he went for broke anyways. Tough dude.
But does that still change your opinion of him? Because when you think back in the day to the guy who called the timeout.
It does for me.
To the guy who claimed he had a detached retina, would never fight again.
It does for me. He redeemed himself.
Is that like Anderson Silva, where you can have a couple shitty fights, but then you can go on a couple-year stretch and redeem yourself?
I think so.
Okay.
Plus, the doctor stepped on his foot. I mean...
Yeah, that was a fucking dick move. What are you trying to check it? Think you're a fucking MMA fighter and you're going to foot stomp him with your ghetto doctoring? It's a witch doctor for all I know.
Brutal. And I mean, and then you had the Mizugaki-Rivera fight, which was kind of somewhat boring. I mean... Until
the last minute. Let's just fucking trade it out.
Go to blows. And then you want to talk about Lawler versus Ellenberger?
Yeah. Another one-sided.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Lawler looked pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because it's another fight where it seems Ellenberger gets a top-tier opponent and then just shits the bed.
Yep. Game plan problem, nerves. I don't know. What was it? Who knows?
A little of everything. And then wasn't Lawler throwing all those head kicks too?
Yes.
Clunk.
Going to town on the head kicks.
Clunk. I don't even know what to do with these guys next.
Well, Lawler supposedly is going to get a crack back in Hendricks.
When he comes back?
Yeah. Supposedly. I don't know if that's official or not, but they were saying that, perhaps. Makes sense. I mean, he looks pretty sharp. I'd say he's improved yet again, Just looking pretty solid. I don't know.
Like solid, tight?
Yes.
That's how we like it.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go to the next fight?
Please.
We're moving right along. This could be the quickest show ever, maybe, if the camera doesn't blow up. Cormier Henderson?
Oh, jeez.
What do you think?
I wanted good things to happen in this fight. Unfortunately, Dan Henderson is like 3 weight classes below Cormier, and Cormier threw him around like a little girl.
He was big brother, little brother.
Crazy. I've never seen Dan Henderson get tossed like that.
No, he got fucking just upended a couple times.
Yeah, it was like man versus child. I mean, it was, and Dan, I thought was fading pretty much immediately.
A little bit.
And I don't know if that's the TRT or what it is, but he did not have gas, in the second, third round. That just never.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where I didn't know. I felt bad. Like you're watching an old man get beat up at this point.
Yep. And he goes out on a shield. He's like, fuck it, choke me out.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm not
fuck
tapping.
Fuck.
What's next for Cormier, do you think? Did they say John Jones?
He's got to wait because you still have to do the Gustafsson-Jones rematch.
Correct.
And then DC should get the winner of that fight.
Yep.
And hopefully, in his case, he'd rather fight Jones, of course, but because he's kind of calling him out, like, I will take you down a million times. Yes. A million times in our fight if we have to. But if he's not going to sit around, I don't know. Do you give him Rashad? Weren't those two supposed to fight? That seems to make the most sense if Rashad doesn't have something lined up. He might be fighting someone. I don't know.
I forgot.
Neither here nor there.
I'd like to see that. I was excited for it the first time. It never happened.
And then Henderson, I guess the question for him is this age? Is it TRT? I'm not quite sure. Do you stick at 205? It seems like...
He's a 185er.
The problem is his cardio is worse if he goes to 85.
Yep.
You look at that, the fight that comes to mind is him and Jake Shields in Strikeforce, where he fucking gives Shields all he can eat and more in the first round, and then you eat shit for the remaining 4 rounds.
Correct.
And Henderson did not look good in his last fight against Shogun either, so that's 2, and he's got a handful of performances now that are not Dan Henderson-esque.
Yeah,
so
he's old. I mean, what are you going to... He's like 50 almost, isn't he? How old is he?
He might be 43, if not 50.
He's closer to 50 than I am.
But I think the TRT is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just wean yourself off because 199 pounds ain't going to cut it. He's going to have to go to 85, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And, I don't know who you give him. I guess you got to say, what weight class are you going to fight at first? And then kind of go from there. But I think maybe 2 more fights for him. He's got to get a win.
2, maybe 1. No, who knows?
I don't consider that Shogun fight a win, even though he got it, but
yeah,
he just kind of pulled that one out of his ass. He's like, hey, look what I found. I got a fucking right hand. Geek. Done.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
Hey.
Is this the fight I fell asleep through?
Yes, it was. Dillashaw versus Renan Barao.
Well, I'll ask you since I was fading in and out of consciousness. I was having a hard time staying awake for this one. Was this a good fight, or what the fuck happened?
You know, Dillashaw, I was surprised. I was really into it, actually. I was mesmerized by the fact that Dillashaw was using angles to kind of negate Barao's striking. And
it was fast. I do remember that.
Very fast. And I was like, wow, this guy is like getting off first every single encounter. Like, Barao never really got his hands on him. He's hitting them with jabs, hooks, crosses, straights, kicks, whatever, going bananas. I mean, 5 fucking rounds of this, and it was pretty crazy that, you know, you come in as a big underdog, right? I mean,
yeah, I forgot what it might have been, like 8-1.
Yeah, I mean, Barao was heavily favored in this and hasn't lost in like 50 years, you know, fighting or something. And then he runs into
not 9.
Yeah, well, okay. And then he runs into TJ Dillashaw. You know,
nobody gave him a chance. I didn't think he had a chance.
No, I did not.
I thought
either.
His striking was improved, but not to this level.
He looked solid, and you know that you got to give a credit to Dwayne Ludwig for you know, honing this guy and game plan. I mean, I recall between one of the rounds, he was like, "You're putting on a clinic." He's like, "This is what we practice. Like, keep doing this. Don't let him off the hook." You know, it's like it seems like he knew. Maybe it's all the weed and alpha brain. I don't know.
Could be.
He figured out the game plan against Barao, and they manhandled this guy. And I gotta love a guy going into the 5th round, knowing he's won 4 rounds to none, still tries to finish the fight. I mean, that's pretty impressive, I have to say. And doesn't let it go to the judges and makes it very clear he won. So, yeah, you missed a good fight. You missed a really good fight.
Saw a good portion. Yeah. I probably saw 70% of it.
Yeah, it was good. I was surprised.
Fighting through it.
It's a lighter weight class, but, I mean, it was exciting. And, you know, I don't know.
And then there's 2 weird things. Like, first off, TJ Dillashaw, not in the EA UFC game.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
That's poor form, EA.
Yeah, come on. You got to look at who's got a chance to beat anybody.
Wasn't Johnny Hendricks not in the last game either?
Probably not. I don't remember.
I think he was.
Yeah, you can get a fighter pack, I'm sure. But here's a question for you. $58.72 per fighter.
EA Sports.
Nickel and dime.
Yes.
Our server is up half the time.
Yep.
Sure it'll all work out.
There you go.
Do you think this was the biggest upset in UFC history? Because a lot of people were saying it, and
I'm going to say no, because I would say that, you know, Joe Rogan, he loves to get excited after these things, and he's all like, "That was the greatest performance I've ever seen in my life."
Well, they're buddies.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, I'm totally cool with that. I think it was a pretty. I still think the biggest upset for me in MMA and UFC history was Anderson Silva losing. I would say.
Really?
I never thought he would lose.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I was going Matt Serra over GSP.
Oh.
Because
you're going way back. Okay.
Like, when you look at the only reason that Serra got that fight was because he won that season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Right.
And at that point, it was he has no fucking chance to beat him.
Yeah.
No fucking chance. Because he's not even ranked. When you look at Dillashaw versus Barao, Dillashaw was ranked number 4. So when you look at it from a ranking standpoint,
sure,
not the biggest upset in UFC history.
No.
So
I forgot about the Sarah GSP.
Yeah.
That's a big one too. I mean, I wasn't really watching MMA like live at that time, so I don't have a frame of reference. So I'll take your word for it. If you feel like that was bigger than Silva getting dethroned.
Yeah, because Silva, because I said Weidman would beat him.
You did, I think.
Yes.
Maybe.
I will check the record, but I'm pretty sure I said that.
Maybe. Yes.
So to me, that's not an upset. To me,
you knew that was going to happen.
Dude, it was due.
You already knew.
This one, nobody picked it.
No, I didn't.
And if you did, you were crazy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I saw on some pound-for-pound list that Barao already off.
Off the pound-for-pound list after one loss? Come on, guys.
And then, is he going to get an immediate rematch? So it almost sounds like he's...
Yeah.
Why do we have to do this? When a guy gets soundly beat for fucking 4.5 rounds until he gets finished. Why does he get an immediate rematch?
They want to do this in Brazil, apparently, too.
Jesus Christ.
Well, because look at the depth at that weight class. I don't think it's that deep.
It's not.
And I think Faber doesn't want to fight Dillashaw.
He doesn't.
So what else is left? Faber, I would say, is number 3, right? I mean, he's right there. So
yeah, I mean, those two are, it's 1, 2, and 3 right now.
Yeah. I like to see Faber Barao again, maybe.
Where's Dominic Cruz when you need him?
He's still on the pound for pound. I mean, on the rankings, but he's dropped.
Is he going to play
It's
Robin?
like number 8 or number 9 now.
Batman versus Superman?
Perhaps.
He makes a good Robin. Just saying. He even dressed up like Robin the other day.
Nice.
Good for him. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really want a rematch. I think the guy got beat soundly.
Yes.
And if you do it again, he's going to get Anderson Silva'd.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Isn't that a Bjork song?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Is that the
I'm hearing music.
CEO of
Bjork?
Bellator?
No, that's Bjorn.
Oh, that's the
Bjorn
Dana White.
There's a Bjork. Bjork is that chick, that weird chick.
Who wears a dead swan.
From Sweden or the Netherlands or something.
Is she a meat puppet?
She might be.
I don't even know what that means. Do we have any more sponsors as we get into Ask
DefenseUp.com. Use code MMANUTS. Save 15% on your...
What? Oh, he's got
soap!
A soap. Ooh, that's a fresh bar. I almost want to put it in my mouth.
Put it up your ass, and then put it up your mouth. And then up your nose.
Wow, that is turbo fresh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Holy shit.
I think the one we have is like been used and abused.
I think we've had it for a couple of years.
Yeah. Smells good, doesn't it?
It does. It wants to go on my mouth, if not my ass.
Scrub your asshole
Just
with
saying.
DefenseSoap.com. And if while you're scrubbing your asshole, say, hey, I wish I would have saved 15% on this asshole scrubbing. And you could have used the code MMANUTS. Next time you'll know.
All right, so we're up for grabs for a T-shirt now. So
all right, for a Reebok Z-Quick T-shirt.
That's right, the Johnny Hendricks signature.
This is actually pretty cool
shirt.
I love the color orange. Amazing color.
I hear you have approximately 0 orange
This is my
T-shirts
first orange shirt
until
ever.
today. Get in the game and go. You're fucking missing out. I have at least one other orange shirt.
All right, good.
It's fancy.
Good on you, man.
I'm a fancy man.
Is it a branded orange shirt?
What do you mean branded?
Like, is there a logo on it?
No.
What does it say?
Nothing.
It's just orange.
It's orange. It's like
So you
one of
wear
those.
that?
I've worn it on the show before. Come on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's got a zipper. It's
That's
real
right.
fancy.
I
with
thought
like
you were saying T-shirt. Yeah.
No, I don't have any orange T-shirts.
Orange zipper.
Well, I had one for coaching soccer. They gave me an orange one. It's Park District. Nice. Anyway, here goes. First question. Taylor Terry, where would you put the over-under on eye pokes in the Jones versus Cormier fight when it happens?
12.
12? I was going to go the number of licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. A tree.
Okay.
Aurelius Goldie Massoy. One-legged MMA fighter Matt Betzold versus one-arm banded Nick Newell. Who wins? Very interesting to see, don't you think?
There's a one-legged MMA fighter?
I don't know.
Does he have a prosthetic he fights with? Or
I don't
does
know.
He just hop around?
That would be news to me. I'll tell you this, though. I don't think anybody that doesn't have 2 arms and 2 legs should be fighting.
No, I agree with you. That's just crazy.
I mean, you have to have certain requirements. Sometimes, you ever go to the Six Flags Great America, there's rides that say you need to have 2 arms and 2 legs to ride this ride.
It says that?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't
That's
know
a
that.
new thing for at least 2013. Last time I was there, I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. 2 arms, 2 legs.
2 arms, 2
fucking A.
legs.
I don't have
Apparently,
it.
I can't ride this ride.
I think MMA? Yes. It needs to follow the same fucking rules. It's a safety
But
standpoint.
Nick Newell kind of has to. Now we get into what constitutes an arm. Because he has one.
No,
I think
you
it
need
just
to
stops
have-
over here.
You need to have all your digits.
Doesn't have his hand, or part of my hand.
You have
and part
all
of
your
his
fingers.
arm. All your fingers?
Yes. A couple thumbs.
Can you have 11 fingers?
How can he poke people in the eye?
It was 11
That's a
fingers.
problem.
One finger bang. Can't get a fucked up
I
glove.
don't know. But I'm just saying. Should they fight? No. You shouldn't be able to fight in the first place.
weird.
But
Maybe jiu-jitsu. That'd be interesting.
I don't know. You're at a disadvantage and an advantage at the same time. So.
Yes.
Moving right along. Dustin Rounds. What's the tougher looking facial hair? Johnny Hendricks beard? Don Fry mustache? Uncle Creepy mustache? Or Chuck Liddell's goatee handlebar thing? Out of those four, what's the tougher looking facial hair?
I probably gotta go with Johnny Hendricks. Uncle Creepy's
so.
thing is like just looks goofy, and Chuck. I'm trying to picture Chuck. Is this current Chuck? Oh, yeah,
right
he
there.
does look kind of mean and menacing. But that's just Chuck.
That's Chuck.
I don't know if you remove his face and put that thing on somebody else, it's not that menacing. But that big ass beard Johnny Hendricks has looks scary. Scares me.
I'll go with Don Fry mustache, even though it got
shaved it.
Killed off.
Yes.
Virginia K.R. Hunt. What are your thoughts to the Dillashaw win over Barao in UFC 173? We kind of talked about that, but the follow-up is, will TJ keep the belt, or will we keep having different winners?
I say he defends the belt as long as he's with Dwayne Ludwig, which seems like he may or may not be leaving Team Alpha Male to go train in Colorado.
Yeah, it says he's Team Alpha Male for life. I think they have tats or something. There's a RFID chip. You can't get away.
Anal
They'll track you down wherever you are, but he's still going to go out to Colorado.
Administered rectally.
Dwayne, and Dwayne's still going to be in his corner.
Right.
So
I like it.
Frank Fleming, have you seen the footage to the new UFC game, and if so, what are your thoughts?
Yes, and looks amazing. Except I'm not sure how the ground game works because I haven't really seen much of it.
They've only showed the stand-up.
Yeah.
He totally avoided that whole ground thing.
I'm a little worried. What are we getting? Are we turning circles on the controller again?
Yes.
And counterclockwise and clockwise? And
Am I pounding the buttons
praying
as
for
I can?
things?
My button tapping faster than your button tapping?
I don't know.
They also asked, what are your thoughts on the game, not including Barnett, Matt Brown, Lombard, Struve, Diego Sanchez, and Woodley?
Oh, they're in the game, but you're going to pay.
You're going to pay out your ass. Because the rumor is there's only 99 fighters in the game. There's a 500-man roster and or woman roster.
They're going to do an EA Sports Season Pass type thing.
Yep.
Probably $49.99.
It's called Rape.
Everything. Because they're going to come out with one game every, like, 12 years, and it'll be, like, anal rape. Correct.
That's how he likes to do it. What? Yeah, that's blasphemous, Ingo.
Hey, I tell it like it is.
Hey, I'm just saying, if I had a review copy of said game, it might not be so blasphemous.
Could be.
Might not be so blasphemous.
Yes.
It might be the best game ever at that point.
Could be.
To be determined. Ryan Smith asks, nothing, because I'm going to go back. Brain Ramos asks, now the NSAC is supposedly cracking down on judging after a tough incident. Do you think they should consider adopting some old pride rules, such as scoring the entire fight as a whole and or yellow cards for stalling? If so, would it really be fair to take 10% of a fighter's purse for all fighters, or would you want maybe a different percentage based on a purse bracket system?
I don't know about the last question,
yeah.
but thankfully you asked this because I forgot to address this when I was talking about it earlier. Apparently they have a new, like, what we've been asking for a while, like an NFL-style judging system. So Mazzagatti apparently is going to get somewhat demoted now after this incident because of the way he reffed this fight.
Good.
And he kind of doesn't get the opportunity to be in the big fights for a while because they're evaluating his performance. So I think that's great. I think they should have been doing that a long time ago. You know, put the best refs in the big cards and the big fights because, you know, people's livelihoods are at stake, and the larger the fight, the bigger the stage, the more is at stake. You could be talking about half. I mean, how can you even put that into words? Like, if you make the wrong call, it could be the difference between having a belt and making millions and not having the belt and making peanuts, you know. So I like it. I think it's amazing. I don't know what the fuck you're saying about the last question, but sure.
I think we need weight classes for the refs, too, because you can't have a fucking Kim Winslow reffing two goddamn juggernauts in the heavyweight division.
Unless she's willing to throw herself into harm's way.
Throw bones.
Which apparently she is.
She's going to throw some elbows.
Get in there.
John Jones style.
Yes.
Fucking A. I'm saying, you got to be smart with who you put where.
True.
Right. Ryan Smith, now it's your turn. Which fight, July 5th, are you most excited for? 3 choices. Chael versus Vanderlei, Ronda versus Davis, or Weidman versus Machida. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think Weidman Machida.
Yeah,
for sure. Ronda Davis looks. These other two fights
looks like a first-round
look one-sided to me. I think Chael steamrolls Vanderlei if that fight even happens.
I don't know.
Ronda's gonna win by armbar, but Weidman Machida, interesting.
And the rumor is with Weidman, I think Rogan was talking about it. He's got some terrible knees or some shit. I don't know if they're arthritic or what. But
did he just have surgery on something? Shoulders?
Yeah, something.
Knees?
One of the two.
Hips? You starting to sound like one of the.
But that's a little concerning if he's kind of fucked up.
Well, wrestling and all that stuff. It's amazing how quickly that stuff catches up to you. These little injuries, you know.
It's true.
What are you gonna do?
Not fight. Chris Evision Marshall, if you had to make an entire USA versus Brazil card with fighters from present/past in their primes, what fights would you be most interested in seeing? And his example is Rousey versus Cyborg, Anderson versus Chuck. I don't like those.
Those are
more
nice.
USA versus Brazil?
USA versus Brazil.
Primes?
Huh?
I'm trying to think prime.
Primes?
Well, you got a prime Vanderlei. I'll start with him.
Prime Vanderlei versus like.
Well, we got Rob, the
Dan
prime
Henderson?
Vanderlei versus prime Chuck. That was like passer prime.
Right.
We got it.
What about Dan Henderson
Dan Henderson prime
versus Vanderlei Silva? Prime.
We had that.
I want to see it again.
Prime versus prime. UFC rules.
Yeah.
Are we going prime rules?
I don't know. What about the heavyweights? I'd like to see like a Verdum versus
Brock Lesnar. Thank you. Thank you. If you're gonna do anybody heavyweight, you gotta fucking put Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar crushes him 9 times out of 10.
Probably.
3 times.
God, that's an interesting fight though. Who knows what would happen there? Because Brock's jiu-jitsu sucks. But
what? He fucking submitted Shane Carwin.
Oh yeah.
Shane Carwin is a master off
this close from death was Shane Carwin, and he submitted him via arm triangle, which is like not really a submission type thing. It's more, it's almost like a wrestling thing too. I mean, no, not taking anything away from Brock. I'm just saying
his jiu-jitsu was top notch. Okay. Now you're shitting on Comprito.
I'm saying his coach was top notch, but his actual jiu-jitsu was not top notch yet. He needed more time to evolve that, and he never got the opportunity, unfortunately.
Yes.
But yeah, that's interesting. Verdum, who's like a killer on the ground, versus a really strong wrestler like that. It's just like a fucking beefcake. I don't know. I like that one. That's interesting.
Yes.
Chael Sonnen. Well, we had Chael versus Anderson Silva.
That
actually happened. So, trying to think like what are lighter weight classes like in the USA type thing. Who was like Gung Ho USA? BJ Penn, maybe BJ Penn versus.
Well, Jose Aldo at 55. I still like to see the Pettis Aldo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like classic old school guys, but still a fight I want to see. It probably won't happen, but probably should, because now Barao could move up to fucking 45.
Because he has a hard time cutting that weight.
And Aldo could move up to 55.
True.
Challenge for the belt.
They have it in the UFC game. They showed us a round of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Quit trying to tease us. Make a super fight.
Teasers.
Moving right along. Justin Dr. Bound Carter. How much do you think a modern-day Pride card with a gym versus gym theme sells? Example, AKA versus Jackson's.
Good question. I think, never mind the gym versus gym, but a Pride card I think would do huge. You had mentioned it before.
It would be the biggest fucking card ever.
Yep.
2 million easy.
2 million buys if you make all super fights.
Especially when you've watered down the product so much. You're doing fucking 2 cards on one weekend.
Yep.
Just make one a Pride. Do it in another country. You're expanding anyways.
Yep.
Might as well just do one.
Running. Sorry, I was at the pool all day.
It's all good.
I'm sleepy.
From the guy who doesn't sunburn.
I don't. I have something wrong with me. I don't have tan
it's called the hip, Bingo.
I can't tan or burn. Something strange is happening.
We need a Pride card. That's the answer.
I'm with you.
All right, follow up. If you could add any of the MMA weapons to your arsenal, would it be Ronda's judo, DC's wrestling, Hendo's H-bomb, or Bass Rutin's Tabasco bottle? And if it's Bass Rutin's, whose ass would you shove it up?
I gotta say the judo. I think judo's very practical.
Oh, God damn, I'm torn. Because I don't know if I'm using these weapons for street fighting or if I'm using them for MMA. Because if I'm going down the street fight route, I got to go with the Bass Rutten. And
Does the Bass go?
Yeah, he's got that Lethal Street Fighting DVD. It's pretty nice, pretty funny. You got to check it out. Yeah. It's probably $20. You can get it off eBay on the cheap.
Is it still relevant today?
Yeah. It's always relevant.
Bingo, bango.
Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. You got a chair here. You use that chair. This motherfucker, and then that's where the Tabasco bottle comes in.
Fucking boss.
You gotta watch it just once. I think I have it. I should just
probably
borrow
I probably
it.
can look it up on YouTube. I'm sure that's been like
I'm sure
10 million times.
But if I'm going street, Bass Rutten, fuck. I'm taking DC's wrestling.
Okay.
I want to control where it's gonna go. And then the last question from Justin: how do the MMA nuts manage to keep it so real on a consistent basis?
We keep it real?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. Do we? Know. Sometimes we do. I don't know. Because this is, we're not trying to impress anybody. We're just.
There's no reason
to
impress.
Us. This is what you get. So, I don't know. I think we've hung out with people a couple times in the past who've come out to bars or whatever, and we used to go out more often. And I think the comment always was like, wow, like you guys were like you. And we're like, well, yeah.
This is us.
This is us.
Putting on some kind of act.
It's not a show. I mean, this is what you get. So I don't know. It's the internet. I love it. I had a dream, by the way, that a big network picked us up, and it wasn't like ABC or CBS or some shit. It was like some.
It's got to be premium channel.
Yeah.
That's the only way we fit.
Yeah.
And it's not called PA, public access.
No. It was like a Spike or HBO type. I couldn't get the read on that part, but I was like, I remember like dreaming about that and thinking like, wow, this is a big deal, and and they didn't want us to dress up in suits. We just got better recliners and a bigger set.
Shit, yeah.
So,
fuck yeah. These are actually 10 years old.
Are they?
Yeah.
They don't look like it.
No, they're
pretty good shape.
Look brand new for all I know.
Yeah.
They got Scotch Guard, bitch.
Nice. Scotch Guard. Are they under warranty still?
Fuck yeah, lifetime, son. Okay. Lifetime.
I have a stain on this couch. One day you're gonna make that.
I'm 0 for 3.
It's okay. That's a tough shot.
It's a new game for 2014. So fucking A. We're into.
I have to try this now.
Some knowledge. Are you gonna take a shot?
I'm gonna try it.
All right. You were closer last time. Ooh. That was a rimmer. No. It's all about rimming, Ingo.
Yep.
Any knowledge?
Knowledge. I'm thinking right now I do not have any knowledge. Do you?
No, we can just retrospect 4 years or where are we at? 200 fucking shows.
Yes.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing to think that we have done 200 shows of this nonsense. And people are still there. If you're still here now, thank you for watching our shit.
Thank you.
And I don't know. I feel like we're due for an evolution. It's coming. Something's gonna happen. The show will grow.
A new set?
Maybe. Yeah. I'm thinking like a 3D kind of thing.
We're gonna actually be delivering BBC right through the camera.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. I think that we keep doing this, and I think sometimes my wife looks at me and goes, "Really? You're going over to Matt's again?" I'm like,
that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do on Sunday nights. Now it's Monday.
I'll throw some air quotes. Job.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like
I'm going to work. She's like, "You're not going to work. You're going to drink beer and talk nonsense." I'm like, "Well, that's my work.
That's work.
That's what I do."
I get people to send us free beer.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I think it's going to be fun. The next 4 years, I think, will be even more fun as we've learned so much and we've grown and we've understood things and I don't know.
We got new sponsors.
New sponsors. Yep. I really feel like there's a big thing looming. We're prime. We're ready. Like, I don't feel like if they put us in a big studio with big cameras and all this shit happening, that I would be intimidated at this point. Maybe I would, for maybe a little bit, but I mean,
liquid courage.
As long as there's beer involved, I don't even care.
No,
and
you don't even need it anymore.
I was just telling my wife the other night, like I was like, man, this would be so cool, like if we had like handlers and we had writers and we had people who could like help us research shit and steer us towards topics that we if they knew us, if it wasn't like writers that were feeding us shit that we don't want to talk about, like if it was like, here's something that would fit your show. You know, I wish we had, you know, a crew of people that was looking out for us and just kind of helping us evolve the show. I feel like that could help. And unfortunately, right now we don't have that, but it's all like, you know, just the two of us. Yes,
thank you. I was ready for it. Everyone broke out into song.
We can make it if we try.
Goddamn right.
I'm gonna have to listen to that now. Which version though? That's the question.
Whatever.
The Will Smith version or the original?
The original. You gotta go old school on that.
But yeah, I think I don't know. Fuck. It's crazy.
It is. Who's that? It's fucking 4 years. You go back and watch that first episode.
It's hard.
It is the worst thing. It might be the worst thing on the internet.
It could be.
It's up there.
But it's fun that it's out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta look back at where you started to see where you are now and where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. There's a lot of improvement.
It's also a little scary because that stuff's out there forever, Matt. So
yeah, good luck. I'm trying to find a real job.
Yes,
after this one.
I have tried, like you know, recently in the last couple of years, interviewing for certain positions, and it always gets to a point, and then I find like someone has looked at my LinkedIn, and then all of a sudden they stop calling me.
It's like, that's gonna be like, what do you think's wrong? Is my resume fucked up? Like, no, like our show is out there. We are out there.
They Google your name.
You are out there.
So I Google myself, and I'm like, whoa, there's all kinds of bad things.
You also have a unique name, so
yeah.
you're kind of fucked
like John Smith
from that standpoint. There's a ton of Matt Griffiths out there, so I could hide behind one of those guys.
If you Google
you
my
are
name,
you.
It's all this nonsense and hours of us talking and drinking beer.
Yeah.
Hey, this is me, so take it or leave it. Yeah. So
that's it.
I don't have any more beer, but I have some water. So here's to you guys. Thank you for still watching.
Yes.
The 2 people that are still watching.
It's all good.
We love you. If you're still watching the show, send us a message and we'll send you a T-shirt. Not this one, but a different one.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe.
A couple.
And no pictures of your cocks. That's disgusting.
Yeah, whoever said that.
Unless they're over 10 inches, then I'd like to take a look.
If it touches the floor,
yes,
I could be in. You got to be standing.
That's right. That's right.
And not doing a split.
Yeah. So that's been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. My name's Ingo Weigold.
Matt Griffith.
See you next time.
Thanks for playing.